Oh, Luna, why did I tell you guys I would cover all the episodes of the first and second season as well? Those are all called coffee! Why are you guys so interested in my opinion on what is water under the bridge by now? You know what? Screw this. This is my channel and I do what I want. I won't do any videos on old episodes. That's it, and there is no pony who could ever change my...
Hey, EveryPony.
What the fuck are you doing here, Digi? This is my channel. Also, how did you get here?
Oh, I was just passing by when I noticed that giant rift in the fourth wall of your channel. As the guardian of all stuff MLP analysis related, I thought I better check this out. Did you do anything recently that might have caused a disturbance in the YouTube continuum, by chance?
Well, there was this big explosion in the middle of my Magic and Mystery Q review with the Voice of Reason that transported the two of us from my channel to his.
That sounds like it could be a problem. You should have this looked at. A rift in the fourth wall of a YouTube channel can lead to all kinds of crossovers and collaborations and... Anyway, what are you up to?
Not reviewing the pilot episodes, that's for sure.
Well, the title of this video says otherwise, and we already wasted a lot of time establishing this story arc and all, so you better get started.
Was? Wie? You are not supposed to mention metafacts like the video title or that there is some story arc happening as we speak. That's like me saying that we actually wrote every single line we are saying right now down before, and both of us are just reading out a script. Oh snap. Why did I just say this?
Yep, rift in the fourth wall, nasty, but compulsively revealing metafacts is a rather harmless symptom. Now, you really should get the show started.
Alright. Hello out there, this is TheAnYPony and welcome to my review of Friendship is Magic Part 1 and 2 with DigiBrony.
Hey, EveryPony.
That's it, the one big opener, the two-parter that started it all, Lauren's legacy. And how does it hold up after 2.5 years? Okay, I guess it wasn't so great to begin with.
Interesting. I seem to remember you calling the Crystal Empire the weakest two-parter, but a good set of episodes altogether. If this one is better, then how can it not be good?
Well, it is. I mean, the Crystal Empire is the weakest, but the pilot episodes are pretty flawed themselves. Okay, let me start at the beginning. From a technical point of view and in regards to dispelling my disbeliefs as well as the flow of the plot at some points even single scenes, the pilot episodes were still in the let's figure this out phase. It was a completely new series with its very own art style and done in Flash, a tool that Lauren and DHX had experience with, but that is still not really common in high quality mainstream productions. Naturally, after two rather successful seasons with more experience and routine, as well as a growing library of resources like animations and models, every single episode of Season 3 was better looking than especially the very first episodes.
Well, that much is a given. More experience, better budgets, more and more love for the product, newer eps are bound to look nice. And what issues do you have with the suspension of disbelief? This is a show about talking Technicolor horses that live in a fantasy world and do magic and shit.
I don't have problems believing that. It is a fantasy setup after all, but a reasonable one. Usually the ludicrous, far-fetched nonsense comes from within the fandom, like Chrysalis had been Luna the whole time.
Heyo!
But seriously now, I know that the stories in MLP have a tendency to just turning out well by lucky coincidence, and I can take that to a certain degree. But in the pilot episodes, I have the feelings that the whole script had been written by the plot convenience fairy. Twilight just happens to read about Nightmare Moon one day before her return. In Ponyville, she then just happens to run into exactly 5 other mayors who just happens to decide to become her friends and later just happen to turn out to be the elements of harmony. After Nightmare Moon's appearance, those 5, even though they had not really been that close at that time, also just happened to be the only ones following Twilight as a group into the library and later into the Aberthy Forest, in which they just happened to encounter exactly 5 trials that they happen to be able to master thanks to their elements. Sorry Digi, but these are just a few coincidences too much for me to take. And don't you dare to say the word destiny.
Destiny, 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 determinism, fate, certainty, course of events, design, divine decree, finality, fortune, inevitability, kismet, ordinance, predestination, predetermination, destiny, destiny. And what about the flow? I thought it was pretty fine, at least in part 1.
Well, first of all, there is this stage-by-stage structure both episodes have in their middle part. In episode 1, Twilight gets to meet one character after another, going through a short characterizing interaction, including a hint towards each one's future element of harmony, and ending with some kind of one-sided expression of friendship. Same in episode 2. One stage, respectively trial, for each of the remaining 5 to show off their respective element once more, before we return to a more natural flow of events. And even so, the dialogues had already an amazing natural feel to it for a very first episode. There were some minor hiccups every now and then. For example, the flow in the first half of the scene when Twilight first meets Rainbow Dash, it feels somehow off, if you get what I mean. The awkwardness in the opening dialogues between those two in Double Rainbow reminded me of that scene.
So why exactly do you still call those 2 episodes better than the Crystal Empire?
Well, as I mentioned, those technical issues and a better feeling for the flow just needed time to develop. Many series don't even officially release their initial pilot episodes, or they re-edit them before calling them canon. I cut MLP a lot of slack for sticking to it. Also, those are the exposition episodes. It is always very tricky to find a good balance between information and entertainment in such episodes. And within a total of 40 minutes we get introduced to the world of Equestria, parts of its lore, the main character, her #1 assistant, the remaining 5, basically the whole setup for all the episodes to come. And to keep things interesting, we get an engaging adventure arc as framework. Maybe the story itself wasn't all that great, but look at the foundation it left us. This is a starting point for each of the main 6, and all the adventures, slice of life stories and headcanons their combination made possible. It gives us this great new world with its magic, creatures and mysteries. Compare that to the Crystal Empire. We got an exotic looking new location. Okay. We got this new type of pony that doesn't have any exciting features except the new look. And we don't get any new characters, except maybe Sombra, but his underdevelopment as a character is rather infamous. And he gets literally blown away at the end of the story. Not exactly a second Nightmare Moon / Princess Luna, whose tragic backstory and adorableness inspired endless fictions, drawings and compositions. In conclusion, as a story on its own, the pilot episodes were rather mediocre, and from the technical side of things was MLP literally just starting out. There's a reason why many bronies explain that they had not been hooked after seeing those 2 episodes, and why they would not show those 2 as an introduction to potential new bronies. But, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is Lauren Faust's legacy. This is where the direction of the series had been set. A direction that is, despite all the changes that happened in the later seasons, still present. The guideline around which the MLP universe is still growing. The next time you give those 2 episodes a wee watch, keep in mind everything you love about later episodes, the inspiration that series gave to you, and the fandom that developed around the series. All of this started there, with a purple, socially awkward unicorn reading a picture book.
That's nice. Okay, whatever, I'm out.
Wait, Digi! What about the rest of season 1 and 2? Do I really have to make reviews for all of them? Brony Curious already realized that fully developed reviews for the old episodes are not really worthwhile.
I really fucking don't care. Find a format or something. Don't you have that yay and nay thingy?
My top 5 yay and nay lists?
Yeah, whatever, do those.
Okay, I will. I won't let you down. You'll see, I can do it.
Don't care, Ollie's outie.
Well guys, you heard it. I'll probably do top 5 yay and nay lists for most of the episodes of season 1 and 2. Maybe a complete review once in a while when I have the feeling I got more to say. So much for now, this is TheAnYPony saying see you soon.
Now little fillies, this is Nightmare Night. Your ruler Nightmare Moon is back to come and fill you with fright. So hurry, now get your goodies and fill up all your bags. And go and leave a candy offering for that big old hag. You're running and pray above that she's not coming back to come and take away your soul and eat you up for a snack. So run away and go hide, just keep your head out of sight. The darkness is rising again, cause this is Nightmare Night.